We have enough neutral palettes. Go ahead and jump straight into our one size beauty review. So this is not going to be the full collection. This is just going to be the Visionary eyeshadow palette. This was like the most intriguing thing that I saw that I wanted to try out. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this today. Here is the eyeshadow palette, and this is much more muted and much more mellow than I expected it to be. I really like that it's asymmetrical, so it doesn't actually match up down here, and so it makes it a little bit easier for you to, oh my gosh, open the palette. That obviously that wasn't easy. So just based off the packaging, it is very simple, very cute. I really like the pink type of, like, not holographic-y, but you guys can kind of see like the color change when I do this. But I really like how just simple this looks, you know. So this palette to me is much more subtle than I expected it to be. I didn't expect, you know, crazy pops of color. Of course, this blue shade here called Blue Mondew is the pop-up color out of the palette, and honestly you guys, that blue is what made me really want to buy this palette. So not to say that the color schemes and everything is not beautiful, but when you look at this palette, it is pretty neutral, pretty soft for the most part. You do have, you know, a nice black shade in here. Booked is a really nice brown shade, but besides that, you guys, honestly this looks kind of like, you know, a standard neutral palette. However, that blue shade, sis, that is what really made me want this eyeshadow palette. It made me feel like this was different than anything I do personally have already. So I'm not gonna swatch these because I really don't think that swatching does colors justice. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just jump straight into this tutorial. So let's go. So I did my brows and we set down our P. Louise eye base. So now we are ready to get into the palette. I'm not 100% sure yet what exact look I'm going to be doing, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get it started. So first I'm gonna start off with Soft Serve, and there's a little bit of kickback, but at this point, sis, I'm honestly not even tripping off kickback unless it's like a lot. If it's like a lot, then we got a problem. But that amount right there isn't too bad, so it's workable. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to place this color all over my lid as my transition shade. And the P. Louise base and my concealer that I use to clean out my brows are kind of separating, but that is okay. And for transition shade, Soft Serve is perfect. It's not super dark. It is a little bit on the cooler side as far as like a neutral brown goes. This eyeshadow went on very smooth, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but sometimes when I do my makeup, this inner like corner right here, it does always kind of tend to get a little bit stuck there, and sometimes it can look patchy, sometimes it looks like the product didn't deposit at all. So right now that area is actually very smooth. This went on super easily, so far I think this is going to be like a really pleasant experience. I'm hoping. So next I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Booked, and I'm going to go ahead and place this all on my crease, and I'm just gonna blend that out. So far placing Booked on top of Soft Serve, it is blending super nicely. So I can say the formula of these eyeshadows thus far are super nice. It's not patchy, it's not lifting like the previous shade we had laid down. It's definitely blending together very nice and seamlessly. So I'm really pleased with how this is turning out so far. So since I'm into more natural eyeshadows and more natural makeup looks, I do feel like this palette is gonna be something that I really like, because as I said, besides, you know, that blue shade and maybe some of these shimmers, this is a very neutral palette, a very easy palette, but very neutral. So you can definitely do a lot with a neutral palette, but you might need other eyeshadows to kind of bring a different type of feel and look to this palette, because I do feel like this is gonna be a more neutral and natural type of look. Not super glam, but you can definitely get glam out of this, but I wouldn't say this is a glam palette. So now I'm just taking Booked on a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna just go ahead and soften those edges and just blend that out. So like I said, I do want to use this blue, but I'm kind of still trying to figure out where exactly I'm gonna go with this upper lid, because I know I want to put the blue on my lower lash line. So I think we're just gonna kind of keep it very neutral and soft on the top, and then just add the blue on the bottom. So far I'm really liking this blend from these eyeshadows. It really is a blending in unison, and it's softening itself very well. Like I don't have to go back and use like my first transition shade to soften up the edges. It is literally just blending like butter. So far I'm really liking this. So next I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the shade Turban Legend here, which is a black shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of deepen up this crease a little bit on the outer corner just to give me some more dimension to this look. Even with me putting this black down, it's not even like a harsh black shadow. Like it's still blending very nicely into these other colors, which I'm super here for. Like I really like how these are blending, you guys. I'm shocked. This is a really good palette. And another thing that I am noticing is that the color payout for these are not, it's not super pigmented. It's like a in between. So it's like just enough, but not too much. You're not like intimidated to lay the shadow down. Like it's very easy. It's not too much product, but it blends out so nicely that it's like if you do add too much, it's okay, it's gonna blend. So with the brush that I used to apply Booked, I'm just gonna go ahead and soften up just those edges of the black. I really don't need to, but I'm going to because you always supposed to blend this. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend those two together. I'm going to take Walnut Strut and I'm going to place this all on my lid. So I'm not going to be using a eye base because I feel like these colors should be kind of performing on their own. So I'm not gonna help it out, but this color payout already, sis, she didn't need no help. So I'm just gonna be placing this all on this inner front of my lid, and I'm going to somewhat go and ombre this into that black that we just laid down. But I'm gonna go back in with that brush that we laid that black down with, and I'm just going to blend these two together. This doesn't even need to be sprayed, y'all. Like this is just going on. I love it. I'm impressed, PatrickStarrr. I am highly impressed. I'm gonna go back in with Booked on my fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just add in a little bit more of that brown color to this outer corner. So I'm gonna go ahead with a flat brush. I'm gonna take Blue Mondew, and this does have a little bit of a glitter in it, so hopefully this really shows up. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to place this all on my lower lash line. Okay, so that's kind of harsh and crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take another fluffy brush, and I'm just going to work this on out and blend this. I don't want to look like I got punched in the eye, so we're gonna just go ahead and just smoke this out, and then we're going to add in some of Mango to kind of soften some of that edge. So since this is gonna be the only product that I'm reviewing from the One Size collection, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll be back to give you guys my honest opinion on this One Size Visionary Palette. Alrighty guys, so here is the finished eye look. I went ahead to apply a wing liner, and then I also added on my Lily lashes in the style It's Lit. So here is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial with me. I really like how this eye look came out. It's not super smoky, but it has like a nice soft smoke at the top, and then it has the pop of blue at the bottom. It might be a little hard to see the blue. I probably should have put the P. Louise eye base on the bottom lash line and then added the blue, so that way it can really, you know, give off its true color. But I really like how this turned out. The blue's not too bold, but it does have just like a little bit of a, you know, a double take moment there. So my opinion on this One Size palette, I really did enjoy using this palette. I really do feel like the shades that this palette has are going to be shades that you can really use every day. So I could classify this as an everyday palette because the amount of browns and neutrals that you have to work with here, it's pretty ideal as far as an eyeshadow palette goes. So you do have the pop of blue in here, but you also have a few shimmer shades where you can really, you know, test the waters and just see how creative you can get with this palette. So I'm super excited to have this palette. I am super excited to have this palette. I do think this palette is going to be very beneficial for me for, you know, months to come. It has almost everything that you need inside of it. The colors blend really seamlessly with one another. I'm sure, of course, if I added other colors into it, it would still have this really buttery, smooth effect to it. So as far as the formula of this palette goes, I absolutely give this a 10 out of 10. Like blending wise, 10 out of 10. No patchiness, really no fallout. No fallout even when I was applying my makeup to my eyes. So I definitely think that that this is a worthy palette. And my only caveat with this palette is that I feel like there could have been a few more like, you know, wow factors in here, but I definitely think that this is a really, really nice palette. So I give this palette a 9 out of 10. And again, the only reason I'm giving it a 9 is because I feel like there could have been a few more pops of color in the palette. You know, we have enough neutral palettes, but you can never go wrong with a neutral palette either. So if you guys like this review and enjoyed seeing me create this eye look, then please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed, and hit that notification bell because I do have my next video already lined up for you guys, which is going to be the Rare Beauty Foundation. I already told you guys that was coming, so hope you guys are excited to see what my personal take is on it and if you guys should buy it. I do think you should purchase this palette if you don't have a lot of neutral palettes. I definitely think you should buy this. But if you already have like hella neutral palettes and you're not really too fond of the blue shade in here, make your own decisions. But I'm glad that I got this palette and was able to create this look for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I will be linking all of those socials down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.